supposed to be here to do these questions next to me because I also wanted her to answer some of them too. But we'll do something with Sammy another time when she's feeling better. She's not well at the moment with her tooth. So I've asked Beck. So I was asked, would I be happy to share some questions around my lifestyle, you know, my nutrition, my mindset, my movement. And then I put the question out also to our Instagram, which actually got a fair bit of engagement, which was interesting. I guess people want to know, like they probably see this person turn up all the time and just want to know, like, you know, like, do you have this or do you have that? Because there was a bit of questions there. So I've written them down. I've got them for Beck. Beck is going to ask them to me. And I've also asked Beck that if I start to waffle, because I am notorious of it, to cough a few times, or you can even do these ones to me to wrap it up, and I'll just get on to the next question as well. So, yeah, so Beck, you are going to take it away with the very first question.
All right, so how long have you been teaching for and what made you become a trainer?
So I have been a personal trainer now I'm going into my 12th year. So I started studying when I was 23, and it took me a year and a half to get my basic personal training qualification. And then from that, I went on to study even further. So yeah, coming into 12 years, basically. What made me become a personal trainer and what made me get on this journey was that I was really quite unwell, mentally, physically, and I started to do something about that, and that was through the love of Oz style aerobics. Started getting really quite intrigued about the body, got intrigued about nutrition, and I wanted to share with others how I was feeling. I think for me that was such a huge thing because yes, my body was significantly changed. It changed quite dramatically, but how I was feeling and how I was showing up as a person, you know, it was getting me into new areas of career, and it was just opening up all these pathways for me, and I really wanted to help people in that mental health space. When I first started, my business was called ABC for Brides. And when I was at college, I was actually going to train brides because, you know, I was like, oh, brides, everyone wants to look good for their wedding day. You know, I seen this amazing market and opportunity, and I love fun exercise. So I wanted to get bridal groups together and do all these things. But a part of my prac was I had to train people to get hours up, and I was training someone who had really quite bad depression. And one of her big goals was actually to get off her antidepressants. She was working with a psychologist and myself on this journey. And I just could relate so much to her. And I knew how hard it was. And I then just, you know, I loved working with her so much for 6 months, and I seen the change in her and the transformation, and you know, the fact that she did get off her antidepressants, and you know, she was kicking all these life goals, but you know, also physically as well. And so my business actually became ABC for Ladies. So I went from brides and then I turned into ABC for Ladies because I just knew that I wanted to work with all types of women basically, and I wanted them to feel good. So yeah, it became, rather than a superficial thing, it became this real internal thing that I wanted to work on that journey with as well. So yes, that's how it came about.
Okay, so you might have already kind of answered this one, but what made you start your own business?
So I actually started my own business because in our prac I had to work with another gym. So we had to do hours and stuff like that, a part of another gym. And we had to do a few different ones. And I always thought I wanted to be in that environment. You know, I never visualized actually owning my own business. But I went to this gym and it sucked. Like they were so bitchy. They were, they were saying things about their staff. They were putting people down. And I'm not saying that everyone is like that, but it was actually just like, you know what, like, this is not why I came into the health and fitness industry. And I was really fortunate with the college I went to that they were so inspiring and uplifting, and they wanted, like, there was never any of that negative talk. So that really shaped me to start my own business. And that college, like, we had to go in every single Sunday and we had to pretend that we were already in our business. So we had to know what our business name was. We needed to know who we trained, what they were like. Like, they made us visualize that basically for like a whole year and a half. We had to get up every single Sunday and, hi, I'm Angie from ABC for Ladies, and I train, these women, and these are their ages. And so I was really fortunate that I was able to do that. And
Okay. Do you train every day, and what's a week of training look like for you?
Do I train every day? So my job requires me to be physically fit. So I wouldn't say I train every single day, but I move every single day. So, I've had to be, and especially over the last year and a half, I've had to really learn, especially with my energy, my hormones, all that sort of stuff, that I need to also not overdo it. So being a trainer, I'm teaching four high intensity classes where I'm quite involved a week. So I would consider them now part of my workout. So on those days, I will do something not as intense, So I do train a lot, but I wouldn't say it's every single day. My training, I'm really getting heavily into surf training at the moment, which is really cool because I think that as a trainer, I even try to mix up my training. I always have, and that's why if you come to the studio, you'll notice I always do different types of training. Classes are never the same. And I think that's just so that, I'm not getting bored. But one thing I've really noticed this year with my surf training is that I've loved the fact that I'm working towards something, and I love the fact that, I'm doing these 2 solid sessions a week, and then going and putting that in the water and noticing the results. That drives me to keep that training going and progressing in that style of training. So yeah, I love work. I love the fact I'm working towards something, and I love the fact that I see the results from, that I'm focusing in those exercises on something.
Yeah. You always seem so happy. Do you ever have bad days?
I seen this one come up. I am happy, and I definitely have my bad days. I think on social media especially, like, that's where a lot of people see me. That's where I turn up. That's where I am my happiest, but that's also very true. Like I'm not faking that when I'm turning up on those videos and stuff like that. I truly feel like I am happy. But I also really have my struggle days. I have days where I really struggle with anxiety. That's something that I've struggled with on and off for years. I struggle with energy. And then I also go through quite bad things in life too. Like, I've got a parent who's an addict that I have to deal with. There's all these other things that I actually I have struggles like everyone else does. But I feel like the reason I am so happy is because I've had to do a lot of work, like, to get here. And I'm always still doing that work every single day. Like, I'm still doing that work. But look at my job. Like, this is the other thing too. Like, every single day I'm around inspiring women. Like, the women in the studio, I don't think people realize, like, I know I'm helping them a part of their healing journey or whatever they're trying to achieve in their health. But that's actually that's been a healing thing for me over the years as well, is by helping someone else, that has helped me so much as well. And I love that. And I think that brings me so much joy. So I'm doing what I love. I think that equals to my happiness. I'm around amazing people. In my network. So that's another thing. And I do things every day that helps with my mindset, so yes.
The next one, is there an exercise you suck at? I'm actually going to expand on it as well. And what's your most hated exercise?
Okay. I actually had a laugh at this because I feel like I really suck at professional dancing. For the last couple of weeks, I've been doing Yana's, dance thing. And when she's like, move your body like this, I just feel like I've got rhythm and I've got coordination, and that's why I'm a really good aerobics instructor. But when it comes to really fast, actual proper dance moves, I feel like I suck at them. So I reckon, and that's Sammy and I always joke about it, because I'm in my head, whenever I make up choreography, I can actually visualize Sammy doing it instead of me doing it. And then I'm it's just going to look like this. And then she does it, and then she teaches me. And then so I feel yes. What's my most hated exercise? I feel like everyone knows this. This is a burpee. Hands down, the burpee. I just hate them. And I think I am getting better at them too, but there's different type of styles that I'm doing. I think when I was in training, when I was becoming a trainer, I actually suffer from really low blood pressure. So that's one of my health issues that I have. It's quite low. And I did them and I just got so dizzy and I was so sick. And then, I was just basically told from my trainer at that time that you shouldn't do them if you don't know if you've got really high blood pressure or really quite low, that they can actually, going up and down can change that blood, so I don't know, I've just had this thing with them forever. That's why we're kind of like a no burpee studio, but I feel like the other trainers sometimes bring them in, whatever, so.
What's your diet look like?
I would say that I eat pretty damn well, but I'm not strict on my calories. I've never been like that. I'm very boring, so I eat a lot of the same. My breakfast, I reckon, and I think that's also depending on my day, but my breakfast, I have a smoothie or bircher muesli. They're my go-tos. I always have a snack because of my sugar levels, and I found that with my chronic fatigue, there's things that I've learned that really help my sugar, my energy levels stay at bay. My lunches, I have a mixture. I will have salad some weeks, or I might have, this week, I've been having this really nice satay curry, with greens and veggies and stuff like that. So I'd say that my diet's good, but I also crave stuff. I'm making all these recipes for the Active Sisters website, Online Sisters, and I made these chickpea cookies this week, and I literally scoffed 3 in a go. People see me and think, but I literally, that's something I struggle with, is having things in my home, because I love food. I absolutely love food. I think so I've got to be really careful of what I do and don't have in my home because of that self-control over food.
Self-control. Where are we up to? Do you have a coach, and how do you stay motivated?
Yeah, so I would say that I definitely do have coaches. So I've got coaches. I don't have a personal trainer. But I do actually. I have a surf coach. Someone that sends me programs that I'm working on. But I feel like that's more like a group thing. Rowie, so Rowie McVoy is still a coach and a mentor to me. So every single week I get new videos from her, and that's even in regards to, and her husband, and that's around, you know, exercise and physiology. Do I have mindsets coach? My brother is a massive mentor for me, especially at the moment as I'm working through different levels of business. He's someone that, you know, sits me down and goes, all right, what's your business plan? And then just helps me see it, because I feel like coaches and mentors are such an important part of growth. So I know for a fact that, like, yes, I'm very good at all these things, but there's other areas that I'm struggle with. So I'll go and find someone like that. And so for at the moment, mine would probably be more around business and how to sort of find my way through each day without being like feeling lost. Especially, like, one of the biggest struggles I've had, I had it towards the beginning of the year, was, you know, I had all this time where I was working on the business, and it was like I wasn't getting paid like an hourly rate. So to go from working in a corporate role to having your own business where you don't get paid that hourly rate, it was quite a struggle with my mindset. So I really needed to pull someone in to help me get through those tough times. I listen to podcasts every single week. I listen to Audible books as well, so I can highly recommend some of those things that I find that helps me with my self-development. I'm always doing self-development, and I have been for the last 12 years of my life easily. Am I waffling?
No, you're not.
No, sorry, is that me? Did you see me point?
Yeah.
No, sorry, I was telling the dog to get her stuff outside.
Am I asking the next question, or you got more to add?
No, you can go to the next question.
Who is your biggest inspiration and why?
I was thinking about this. So I would say there's two. I have to have two. I can't just have one. But it is Rowie McVoy. She was the first. So she was my coach at Max College, a part of my fitness qualification. And like I said, she's still in my life to this day and sends me a lot of mentor videos, sends me messages and things. The reason I love Rowie so much is because she literally has really made a massive difference in the fitness industry. So really trying to get personal trainers recognized as professionals, not just someone that turns up and is in a little bikini and things like that. You know, like, she wants people to be taken serious. So she was a massive shape for my life as well, because she made me really believe in myself and she pushed me. So, you know, like, if I was saying something bad about myself, or, you know, I had all these doubts, she would push me, and she would just, the hard questions, I think that some people are afraid to ask or tell you the hard truth of things, I think. So she's my inspiration. My brother is the other reason, and the reason is because my brother and I both came from the same background. So we came from a pretty tough upbringing, and he's my biggest inspiration because I've seen how much he's turned his life around, and what he's built within himself and his company. You know, he went through a really quite depressive time, and now, like I said, he's just a completely different person. The other thing I love about Dave is that he's very logical, and I'm a very emotional person, and he will make me see the logic in things, which sometimes I really struggle with, because I feel hard, I'm emotional hard, but sometimes you have to look at the logical thing in a situation, you know, like, you know, sometimes things aren't right, but your emotions are so attached to it, you need to take your emotions out for it and see the picture as it is. And I feel like I need that type of person in my life that can really talk to me and see the logic in a situation. So yeah, he's my biggest inspiration. Also, if I'm not answering these questions enough, or I'm like, you can ask me hard questions too, because I'm down for that as well.
Okay. Well, we've got 2 more on this list anyway.
This is hard.
What's something that you do every day?
I would say that I cuddle my dogs every single day, and I cuddle my husband, and I make sure I tell him I love him every single day. They're really important to me, but I also feel like, I don't know, like I just think making sure that he knows he's loved, my dogs know I love, like that makes me feel really good. And I listen to music every single day, like music and dance or move my body, like just getting into music. I love music. I find music very healing to listen to.
What's one thing people wouldn't know about you?
I don't know, like this was actually a hard one for me to answer, because I feel like I'm a very open person, but you know, like literally the only thing that came to my mind when I seen this was I have 2 middle names and 2 last names, which is now 3 last names. So I'll say that. So my name's Angelina Helena Louise Wachkowski Barth. That's what I sort of tell people. Now Palacia. I play the harmonica. That's something that people don't know, and I do private YouTube lessons on the harmonica, which I suck at, so that's why it's never on social media. I reckon another one that people get quite mind blown is that, I've actually been married before. I reckon that's usually a big like, what? For a lot of people that don't know me, I'm on my 2nd marriage, and I used to have a lot of stigma around that and used to really struggle with telling people that. But now I own it. Like, I'm happy, so I own it.
Well, that's the list.
That was hard. I feel like a waffle.
That's good.
Sheena, Taylor, does anyone have any questions for me that they would like to ask?
No, I like that.
You like putting me on the spot?
No, I liked it. That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was Sheena's idea, by the way.
No, I don't think so. I think one of my questions was in there, and I asked more. I think, yeah. It'd be good to do one on Sammy, though.
Yes. And I think that's, like, Sammy and I were talking about this too, you know, because there's a lot of misconceptions that go around a trainer, like, and there's, like, things that Sammy struggles with too, like, in regards to comments that people say about her body size. And I think, like, Sammy is small, and we've spoken about this, like, it comes from genetics. It comes from, you know, she's a dancer. She does have to exercise physically for her job, so, you know, she is in shape for that. But people just say, comments, and I feel like if the roles were reversed, you would be offended if you know what I mean? And that's what Sammy says, and I think that's one thing that we really tried to do at the Active Sisters is to not see people for their body sizes, you know what I mean? And to see past that and know that, you know, she's a talented person with a kick-ass body, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you don't eat, do you? Or,
okay.
Or it would be like, oh, you're so skinny, like you need to fatten up, or like just things like that too.
Right.
Like, and that's
it's so common in society when people are just like, you know, little, and my cousin is just naturally skinny. She will never be overweight at all, and she doesn't eat healthy, but she's still skinny, and she cops it a lot as well. And it's like, you wouldn't say that to a bigger person. You wouldn't go out to a bigger person and say, hey, you eat too much. Like I
said, I think sometimes people don't realise that they're saying stuff. you know, and that how that can actually affect a person. And like I said, we talk so much in society now around, which is great, around like body positivity for all sizes, right? So plus sizing and things like that. But I think, you know, it's got to be around all areas too, you know. So yeah.